I know goddamn good and well we're not about to write some fucking socialist checks to all.
Yes, my brother. Y'all, first of all, watch his video. He's on the money. And I'm speaking to you directly, sir. The part that you're not calling out, and I understand what you're saying, you're on the money, but I'm adding some extra seasoning, as it were. No dig on you to what you're saying. What you're talking about, these socialist checks, this is what you call white supremacist socialist checks. This is what you call white identity socialist checks. Okay? This is what W.E.B. Du Bois talked about in I forget which book it was. I don't know if it's Souls of Black Folk or it's one of its other books. But it's what W.E.B. Du Bois, you can look it up, called the wages of whiteness. That is the checks that these people are wanting the federal government, figuratively, for their mental well-being, and literally want to be written to them for their cashing, for their consumption. You see, and this is something us black folks have known for generations in this place. And we've watched it take place, watched it happen over and over again, in the society. Whitey people vote motivated by whitey supremacy. And you aptly described the kind of selfishness that they're talking about. Oh, fuck you, you don't get it, you don't deserve it, you don't deserve this. The key part, the actual seasoning I'm talking about, when they say you don't deserve it, they mean black people like myself and others of color, we don't deserve that stuff. So they vote to basically keep us from being able to avail ourselves of the things that they think are their God-given rights to avail themselves of when they fall in hard times. So they say, listen, just as long as they don't get it. That's the whitey supremacist stuff that we keep talking about. And this is the part of it that I'm going to need whitey people like yourself who have your head on right. And I need you to more directly and overtly and consistently say, so that these MAGA farmers, by the way, these farmers also, a lot of them that are being fucked right now, a lot of them were party to the lawsuit that sued the Biden administration when the Biden administration finally tried to make good on their promise to finally make black farmers whole, because the FDA basically shafted black farmers for decades in this place. A lot of black farmers lost their farms because the FDA just racistly decided to not approve their loans. So Biden sequestered billions of dollars to start making these black farmers whole. And a lot of these farmers that voted for Trump, that are crying about their farms right now, signed on to the class action lawsuit against the Biden administration to stop them from giving the money to these black farmers. They said that overture is racist. They said so. And a federal judge, issued a nationwide injunction on the Biden administration, and the Biden administration honored the nationwide injunction. That's funny. Trump doesn't want to honor nationwide injunctions, but that's another topic. And if you check my videos, I've spoken about that ad nauseum. But let me get back to the point. They issued a nationwide injunction blocking the Biden administration from disbursing these monies to these black farmers. And the black farmers subsequently sued the federal government. I think that lawsuit is still in the courts, because they said, listen, man, you promised us this, and now, you promised us this. We made, plans based on what you promised us, and now we're not getting anything. But that's where that thing is. But going back to what I said, what these white farmers are dealing with, what they're demanding from the federal government, is, again, a tangible wage of whiteness. They voted in typical white supremacist fashion, the way they've been voting for decades, to harm black and brown people, right? And they fully expect to be insulated from the consequences of their actions, like they've been insulated for decades. They've been accustomed to be insulated from the consequences of their actions. That's what you not realize. These white farmers and whitey people generally across this country have been accustomed to be insulated from the consequences of their white supremacist violence, their white supremacist, their racism, and everything like that. The things that they do that will harm them. They make choices that will harm them, but they make the choices to harm black people, to take stuff away from black people, to stop black people from getting the same things that they get. And they've been insulated from the consequences of their actions to this point. But what's been happening the first 8 months of this year so far is now they're starting to feel the consequences of their racism. And what's kind of fucked up, what used to happen was that, say they vote that way, the Republican gets in, and the Republican harms black people, but the Republicans make sure that they're taken care of, right? They vote that way, the Democrat gets in, the Democrat makes sure black people don't get harmed, but the Democrats make sure that they're taken care of too. So no matter who they vote for, right, who they voted for over the decades, their social safety nets, health care, environmental standards, the way the banks work, fairness in loans and stuff like that, were protected. But you see, the new breed of these corporate raiders, right? These avaritic sons of bitches who are in government right now, the way they are, they don't give a fuck about anybody who's not rich. This is a new breed of greedy, entitled, like, feudal fucking lords who are in charge right now, right? Who have a deep, like, aversion, a deep, like, conceit, right, for anybody that's not wealthy. And that includes these reliable white supremacist voting working class and lower class folks. They hate them too. So now they have total control. They're raiding the federal government, making themselves rich. And so for the first time ever, these people's base needs are not being taken care of, are not being met. And they're fretting and crying. They're demanding their wages of whiteness. What they don't realize, Donald Trump and his people have closed that white supremacist bank that they've relied on for generations. This is the other part of what I'm telling you. This is the extra seasoning I'm adding on to what you're talking about. This is it. Everything's fucking racist. Everything in this place is about fucking race. But yeah, your video is a good one. And I watched the whole thing through and through. Not like a lot of these ADD afflicted folks on here. I watched your entire video, every minute of it. And I implore everyone else to watch the entire video of my man here. And watch mine, watch my stitch as well. Watch his video in the beginning and then watch my stitch. And my brother, please watch my video. Comment under it and let's keep having this conversation, right? This is what people need. People need to be woken the fuck up. Oh, here's that word woke. But that's what that means. Good video. Everyone check it out. Check mine out too.